So let's see if the Panthers took Von Miller first overall instead of Cam. Let's see if we have the Photoshop.
I mean, that looks pretty natural to me.
I mean, that's Charles Davis's number, so we'd have to change the number. Not Charles Davis. I'm sorry.
Thomas Davis.
Thomas Davis.
Yeah.
CD, what's up?
That's your boy. CD, that's our guy, man.
Two teams.
But that looks pretty good, right? Next to Kuechly? Can you imagine?
Yeah, that works.
All
that
right,
plays.
now, but more importantly, let's look at this next one here.
Next to Kuechly?
I mean, what are you doing,
Cam
Schrager?
Newton as a Denver Bronco.
Is that Jason Elam?
That looks like Elam. That is. That looks like
Much
Jason
he needs
Elam.
bigger pads.
Can you kick a 63-yarder, Cam?
Doubt it.
So let's go back in time here. These guys played in the Super Bowl, as we know.
All of Denver
Up against
is
each
really
other.
upset
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
it
Odd.
right now.
Cam Newton was the MVP of the season, and then Von Miller was the MVP of the Super Bowl. So not a bad 1-2.
Right.
But had we swapped those,
Right.
Denver never gets Peyton Manning. So then Peyton Manning maybe goes somewhere else. Okay? Carolina is still in search of a quarterback. We're not getting, you know, Mr. Oikos, the guy on the face of every ad. in this.
Mr. Oikos,
It's, you know, he's everywhere, Cam Newton. It's a totally different NFL because Peyton doesn't have his time in Denver. Now we don't have Simeon and Lynch because you have Cam Newton out there.
Right.
Carolina suddenly has Luke Kuechly, Von Miller, Thomas Davis. Josh Norman maybe stays.
Who's
Just have at it. Kay, you love this one.
I love this one because I'm thinking if the Broncos take Cam, ipso facto, Manning doesn't go to Denver. You look at the landscape of quarterbacks at that time.
Yeah.
You look at the Vikings. You have McNabb and Ponder. Could Peyton have gone there? I'm looking at it from like, where's Peyton Manning going?
That's
you
the
look at
question.
the Cardinals with Skelton under center. This is before
Yeah,
Palmer.
Johnny Skelton.
Yeah.
Could Peyton Manning have gone there? and
Ryan
made an
Lindley
impact
beats him
and really
out.
taking them over the edge. They were a pretty good team that year. You look at Josh Freeman down in Tampa Bay.
These are
So
some
Peyton
names.
Manning's looking for a gig. He
Yeah.
could go down to Tampa Bay and make it happen. Do you think if Peyton Manning goes to Tampa Bay, guys, they have the first pick to take Jameis Winston?
No. Definitely not.
They don't.
That's
so now
another
you don't have
domino.
Winston
Okay.
in Tampa Bay, and our pets' heads are
Sliding
falling
doors.
off.
Sliding doors. I'm thinking I like to look down further in the draft in that same year. So if they didn't take a quarterback, all right, the Panthers are coming off having Jimmy Clausen, so they need a quarterback.
Yes.
If they take Von, I think they try to get one later in the draft. Andy Dalton is there in the second round. Do they get him? And this one will really sink your battleship. Colin Kaepernick is there in the second round. Do they get Colin Kaepernick? And is he on the Panthers with Von Miller? Are they making a Super Bowl run? The dominoes are falling. The sliding doors are closing. Burleson, jump in one.
Well, listen, I'm looking at the situation. Let's just take
Have at it, Burleson.
Let's just take it to that year. Let's just say these guys went on two different teams and their paths met up the same way, but on two different squads. And now Cam Newton is quarterbacking the Broncos in the Super Bowl, and Von Miller is playing on the opposite side trying to get after him.
Okay.
good.
And
What if Peyton was the quarterback of the Panthers.
Maybe. I'm
I
just
like
looking
that.
at the situation
Could've
where
been.
Cam put up that unbelievable season, right? The MVP of the year.
Yes.
And in that same season, Peyton Manning maybe statistically had the worst season of his career.
He got benched.
So you imagine if Cam, at the height of his success and really the height of his productivity, what he would have been like with the surrounding pieces. Now, this is all retrospect, and the butterfly effect means things would have worked out differently, so different players would have been on different teams. But Cam Newton, with that defense, I mean, you might as well write the check and say these guys
But
are
no
going to
Von.
But no Von. Is
But
that,
no Von.
Is that,
But no Von, but still.
Is that defense that defense?
Their
No.
back end is still one of the best in the game. I mean, you're looking at Akeem Talib, Chris Harris. They brought in DeMarcus Ware. I mean,
Yeah,
they still
they're
had
still
guys and
legit.
pieces. Now, obviously,
Not the rock
without
star,
Von, yeah, you're right. Without the rock star, it's a little bit different. But I do believe, though, with that defense that they had, Cam on the other side, throwing to Demaryius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, C.J. Anderson.
It's legit.
Like, that's a legit
I
offensive
just like this one
defense.
because it's the first one where I don't feel bad for the front offices watching
I
our
know,
show in the
I know,
morning.
so
Because
true.
either way, hindsight, we did pretty good.
One little wrinkle in it. The following draft was Andrew Luck, Russell Wilson, Robert Griffin. All those guys came in, so
man.
you could assume maybe Carolina would pick up one of those guys. Hindsight's 20/20, guys. That's
That
why
was
we
a
do
good
this
one,
segment.
Peter.